Now,
What's going on, family? Black Phoenix checking in. Right now, we are outside of the container conversion, and I wanted to give you a few updates and show you exactly what we are doing with these container conversions. So, I wanted to do this course and go live, be hands on, and literally show you the material, what I did, and how I did it. This is actually, I'm outside of one, so make sure you can see both sides. I'm outside of a conversion that I did. This is actually a 40-foot high cube shipping container. I cut it in half and I made two units. I made one storage unit, which is that's what we're making this video to show you how to do these to cut in half and make one storage unit, and the other one I turned into a cafe unit, which you can turn into two storage units or whatever you want. I wanted to make a office slash storefront with the other end, but the goal is to show you how I did it and the material I used and pretty much the time frame. It doesn't take that long if you got everything. You most definitely gonna need a sky track or a forklift. So if you don't have one, you might want to put that in the budget to rent one, but you can just get it for the day. Most places they'll rent you one from either $300 to $700, depends on the size and what you need. So you probably want to put that in your budget because you're going to need a forklift to actually set everything up when it's all said and done once you get to that stage. But you don't have to go out and go on and rent it off the top. You can actually wait um, until you get to that cutting stage. So the day that you get ready to cut it in half, I would say that's the day you want to go on and have the forklift ready. So let me show you some of the pieces we need real quick so we can get more in depth about what we're doing. So here is some of the material. This is 6x2 square tubing. So actually, to make your best end caps, you'll want to get 3/16. 3/16 is real heavy duty. It'll be a good end cap. You can get away with a lighter gauge, is a eighth inch. You can do an eighth inch. It just depends on how you're going to be towing it. And if you do, you want to reinforce the ends um, and cap this bottom piece. Normally, I clean this off. This is like a cutoff, but I have a cap and I cap the whole end. That way to have a more of a structured pull, and you'll put your lifting knot here, and you'll weld it around so that way you'll pull from the bottom. And I'm gonna show you why why we do this on this. But you pretty much want to get your 45s. With this one, I believe the frame is probably, I think it's 9 feet and 5 inches tall, and it's actually 8 foot wide from outside to outside. So inside, you're looking at a diameter of 7 feet from inside to inside. So normally, when you get your roll-up door, you'll want to get the 7x7. That's the cheapest one, or you can get the 7x8 because you can actually go up 8. But 7x7 is a lot cheaper, and then 7 foot roll-up door is normally a pretty good size door. So this is your flat. This is 3 inch by 8 inch flat. You're gonna use this when you're doing your doors. So when you get ready to seal your doors off, you're gonna want to like, man, how do I seal these doors off? Well, you're gonna get this and you're gonna cut it the same length of your door. So if that frame is 40 inches, you want this to be 40 inches. So whatever that full this is actually your drip rail, and you're gonna cock this in. You can weld them incomplete, but I wouldn't weld them. You can stitch weld them. I say go in every center about 2 inches, an inch, space it out and then cock it, you'll be good. But this will help you seal those commercial doors that you can get from Lowe's or Home Depot and places like that. Like really, um, it's very easy to do. It's not real hard, but you have to make sure when you're cutting out the door, if the door frame, I want to tell you this. So if the door frame is 40 inches, you want to have your cutout to be 39 inches. If the door frame is 80 inches tall, then you want to have your cutout at least 79 inches. That way you can kind of play it and position it in there, and you'll have enough meat around to weld the outside. This is a 2x2 3/16 tubing. Now with this 2x2 3/16 tubing, this is what you're going to build your windows out of, your AC cutouts, your door frames, your support brackets. This is what I prefer to use. You can go a little lighter gauge. Like I said, you can go an eighth inch, but I would prefer at least 3/16. Me personally, it's very strong, but you can go under. It just all depends on what you're doing. If you're tight on the budget, you can go to an eighth inch material and it'll work. But 3/16 is a lot stronger. So, and when you're moving it around, it's just a lot stronger unit. Plus, when you're using this, also, you can use it when you're doing your handrails in your decking area. If you plan on doing a deck and handrails, you also use this as a brace support, so that way you can take your handrails off. So I make these like 6 inches. So you want to cut these about 6 inches, and then you take your handrail, which is a 2x2 tubing, and you want to use 14 gauge. This is 14 gauge actually, 14 gauge 2x2. I mean, inch and a half tubing. I'm sorry, for your handrails. Inch and a half is plenty. Some people go 2 inches, but inch and a half look nice. But you can slide this in there real tight, and this is how you're going to remove your handrails. And when you set in different posts, you see what I'm saying? So you get this 14 gauge, inch and a half tubing, and then you got 2x2, 3/16 tubing, and it fits in there pretty good. Now this is inch and a half angle by 1/8 inch. You want to use this when you're doing your decking. So when you're making your decking frame, you want to use this. And normally I'm gonna say it'll be on the safe side to get you about 6 sticks if you're gonna do your deck. That way you have enough room and lip. You can use 1 inch. I've used 1 inch, but 1.5 inches is better. Just personally, I think 1.5 inches is better. It gives you more room to play with, and you just wrap the whole outside of the frame or the inside, however you want to do your deck. This is very simple, and you just stitch weld it. I wouldn't do nothing solid, but like your cap ends, I do them. But when you're attaching certain things, I think that it'll be a lot of overkill if you do 100%. You can just stitch weld it and then cock everything, and it'll be plenty. It'll be nice, you know. So I think that'll save you some time. And this is a 3x3 channel. This is 3/16. This is actually is what you're gonna use for your hand if you're making your staircase yourself, or you are bracing the staircase. This is good to use because you can brace this to the front part or the side of your container, or you can make a square cage out of it. So I done did the boxes where I have a 4x4 or 36x36, and using this for your landing. So this is actually a landing. I got this is on there. I cap the ends, drill the holes, and then I use this angle also on the landing, so when it falls, it can sit right on top of it, as you see. So it also gives it support, so that way the staircases isn't just sitting on the bolts alone, they sitting on the angle and the lip of this C channel. So that way you just got extra support, extra, you know, when you're moving. And it's also welded to the unit, so you know it's sturdy. So you won't have to worry about anyone falling or anything like this. So I wanted to show you that real quick to show you some of the material that is used. I would say on your sticks of tubing, if you're gonna do your handrails, normally I would just try to do the math. You'll probably end up being out of anywhere from around depends on how you do it. I say 9 to 12 sticks of inch and a half tubing. Depends on how you want to lay it out. More people want multiple bars. If you want one single bar, so it all depends on how you want to do it. But it's all on the person. But getting started, I think these are some of the material you need to get. So just keep that in mind. Give them a close up, show them again. Just get a close up on. This is some of the basic stuff you'll use. Need. So just keep all this in mind. This is some of the things that's really gonna make you some money. This is 2.5, 2x6 tubing, and you got inch and a half tubing, and you have 2x2 tubing. You have inch and a half angle, 3-inch C channel, and 3-inch flat. And the reason this is 3 inches because most of the cutouts are about the corrugated metal is like 2 inches, inch and a half, you know, with the bend in. So if you have 3, you can get you a little lip on the outside for your drip rail, and it'll catch everything else. So that way it'll seal everything up tight. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that here in a second. So let's walk over here to the storage unit so I can show you exactly how I did it. And then I tell you what, we're going to go to the cafe because I want to show you how we did the lifting eyes on the end, because this one was pretty neat. So we're going live right now, so hopefully we don't lose you in the video, or you actually see us fade in and out of just a little bit. So let's go over here to check this out. Give y'all a more of up close. This is actually the Hog Cafe. This is a storefront, a bar. We're going to be selling our products, our services. We're going to be doing welding classes at the rear. So I'm going to have welding sections, at the rear, independent welding sessions at the rear. So we're going to be doing combo welding, but I specialize in stick and flux core because That's a fast turnaround as far as people who really want to get a job or want to learn a skill. It's a high demand for, wire welders and field welders. So I try to help in the demand area. And like I said, we're going to be selling our products and providing our services. And most definitely, hopefully, we'll be doing our podcast in there too. So just to give you an update, like I said, everything is handmade. I wanted to make sure that I'm a tradesman, I'm an engineer, so I wanted to make sure that I engineered everything from the staircases. Everything was made by me, handmade. I literally made the staircase in my garage. I literally made it in the garage. I set everything up. The handrails are actually built in the field because they was easier to build out here than having to tow them out here. So the awning, I actually ordered it and I just customized it to match my theme and just painted the leather brown. Actually got it off of Amazon. You can get these affordable. The story behind this, actually, me and my wife went out for our anniversary and I seen one of these on the building and I took a picture of it and I found it on Amazon. It was so affordable. I was like, oh, that's what I want on my cafe. Like literally, that's how I came up with that idea. So, you always find ideas just off of seeing different things and like, oh man, I liked it. That's cool. So I thought it'd probably, give a little pop to my stuff. So I wanted to add it to it. So show you this rear. Make sure you get a good picture of this rear end because this is your rear cap. This cap, you're gonna make this before you actually put it up. The only thing that you're gonna keep out of it is the door. You're gonna have the frame in, but you just put the door on once you get it up there. Now come over here, you can see the lifting eyes on where when you get ready to tow it. This is why this is on there. This is actually a 1/4-inch plate, and it's a little shy of 6x6 or 6x5, and I welded all the way around it. And also, like I say, under here is completely welded. That way, if your unit is turned the other way and someone is towing it with a truck, when they towing it, they can grab it here and they can put it up on the truck, no problem. So that's why this is reinforced. This is actually 6x6. But when you're doing this bottom one, it's optional. So you can go with a 4-inch here and you can be able to set it and actually have it not completely square. But with this unit, I use the 6x6 all the way around, but you can use 4x2, I mean. So it's just optional because what you want to do is before you set it and do your measurement, however you want your floor, say if you're going to add another subfloor, you want to make sure you set this to match that. So once you actually put your floor, it'll be even and it won't be offset, but that's an option. So just wanted to show you that. I use the existing metal. So when you have cutouts, sometimes your door, which is actually my double door over there, this is actually a piece of it, this and that. What I did, I used the cutout piece instead of throwing them away, and I used them to fill my cap in. Now you can actually use flat metal, which I'm gonna get into that because I did order flat metal to do a piece of it on her unit. And this is actually a piece of that 1/8-inch flat metal, which the AC unit is actually being cut out a section of here. That's why it's boxed out like that. But I wanted to utilize what I had, and like I say, a lot of times you don't have to buy things. So if you're cutting off certain parts and you're using certain things, all you have to do is just utilize what you have. You know what they say, one man's trash is the next man's treasure, literally. So I've been utilizing all my pieces. Actually, if you turn around here, you can see some of my pieces here. I still got some scrap pieces over there that I'm going to utilize. All that is good metal. I got some great ideas with that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it right now, but I'm going to use it for something. You know what I'm saying? But just wanted to show you that. So this is actually, like I say, it's 8 foot wide. This one is give you a. This one is actually 8 foot wide total. Yeah, it's 8 by 9.5. This is a high cube. They say they 9 and 6, 9.5, but pretty much they're like 9 and 5. So you can make your caps 9 and 5. And I also wanted to show you this too. If you look down here, you want to make sure you get it even. So look at this front piece. This is the existing container. So what I did, I made this cap go flush with that. So that way you got it lined up right. So if you're trying to line it up outside by yourself or whatever, or got a few people, you know how to get this leveled out. Normally you want to put you some boards or something under there to brace it, the cap on before you put it up there and cap it. But you want to weld around here. So all around here, you're going to add an extra piece, and then that way, that'll be completely welded off. You see what I'm saying? Also, when you're doing your lifting eyes, we're gonna walk around to the front. I mean, your forklift hose. So you got options when you're doing your forklift hose. So under here, this is C channel, some type of C channel that they use. So you want to make sure when you cutting this that you look under here and find this, because you don't want to cut it inside of this. Also, when you're doing your floor, because it's going to make it real hard. So you want to make sure even when you pull your 20, you might have to go inch back or inch forward or inch and a half or whatever to cover to miss this. And then later you can come back and you can put angle, I mean not angle, but C channel or a bigger piece of tubing in here to seal this hole up. I actually just left mine here because I'm knowing that I said, oh man, that's okay with what I'm doing. I can fall back later and I can put this piece in there to make it stronger. But as for now, it was perfect. I can still, I already moved it and did everything. So, but you can reinforce that with tubing or channel, a bigger piece of channel at the bottom or the top when you get ready to pick up. So that way you won't, if they're using the forks, they won't go into your floor. You know what I mean? So that's a good plus. Also, when you cut your frame, I want to say this because this is very important. Make your frame first. Once you get your door and you get your measurements, say your door is 80 inches wide. So you'll want to at least, I would say, make your frame, me personally, at least 3/16 bigger. So that way you got, about an 1/8 inch in it to get it in there pretty tight, and then you can seal it up. But I would make your frame first. That way you got your frame, you get it in there, then you don't have to recut your hole, because sometimes you can recut the big hole and then you make the frame and then you realize your frame is a little bit off, and then now you double working yourself. Now you like, damn, I've been there. So to save you that headache, it's better to just make your frame, all your frames, even your window frames, do all your frames. And I would say make them to the window or make them to your door or your window. Put the actually piece in and fit it in if you had to make sure it fits good and tight. Tack it in there, then remove it out of there, and then weld it up. But I would say do that. That way you got a good, perfect, good fit, and it works out pretty good. This door actually, these here is from Home Depot or Lowe's. I would say Home Depot. Home Depot I have seen has a lot cheaper prices. I don't know how it is in your area, but Home Depot or Lowe's, you can get these doors at roughly the same price, probably $50, $60 cheaper or whatever. But this is a patio door. You can go with a commercial door, whatever. On my end, I actually got a commercial steel door. So that's a commercial steel door on that end, and we're gonna go in there here in a minute. But I wanted to show you the actual difference. And we're gonna walk up here to the top because I wanted to show you just a few things on what we did. I still got to do the decking. So the decking is still haven't been done yet, so we still up in the air on that right now. But I wanted to show you how you line out your angle. So this is your angle, and this is where your decking, your wood is going to sit on there. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces in here where you can actually screw down to, plus your side. But it all depends. You can put more braces in here if you want to. Less. It all depends on you. Honestly, this is plenty. I did one. A guy only had the ones on the end and one in the middle. So it all depends on your budget, what you want to do, how strong you want to do it. But you have options. Like I say, this is 1.5 inches. I put caps in the end just to make it real easy. And I put use a piece of angle here to weld off one end and then screw in the other to make it good and strong. And then you can take these out and remove them. As you see, everything can be removed. And that's the cool thing when you're traveling or shipping it or whatever, it can be removed. So, and then also once you see up here at the top, when you're doing your cap, you see how that is just a little bit taller than the deal. So that's pretty much perfect, because you can go a little bit more if you look at them. Some of them about a 1/2 inch or 1 inch higher. So that'll be fine with that. And that's your 2x6 tubing end cap. So the cool thing about this engineered end cap is that it actually gives it back that structural soundness that you're taking away from the unit by cutting it in half, because once you see it, it'll be kind of flimsy. So sometimes you have to put little lifting eyes in there to pull it in. So sometimes you might need to come along and weld the lifting eyes to both ends to pull the unit in if the unit is kind of bold. Because sometimes, if you're looking for a B or C unit, which I would say do that, because that way you can save a lot of money if you use a B or C unit. I wouldn't try to get a brand new unit getting started with this. It's very wise to look on Craigslist, OfferUp, newspapers, local people that might have something. You never know who might try something and didn't work out for them, and you can get a good deal. So don't go all the way out getting started. The cool thing with this shipping container conversion is that you can start on a small budget. I would say, honestly, just to give you a realistic standpoint to make some money, $5,000 is plenty to be able to double your money. So I think if you spend five, you can make 10, no problem, or at least a good 8.5, and then you can jump back in and start getting your groove. But you're gonna make money. You're not gonna lose money. But it all depends on how you want to do your units. I would say do 2 storage units first and give yourself options. Once you make the end cap, some people, I have noticed that people might want the door on the left or the right. They might want it in the center. So I would keep it standard and give the people options. That way you have the pretty much the frame cap, and you say, do you want your door here? You got an option to put your door here. People like options. So if you give them options, you're not putting it back against the wall. You end up having a good customer or client. Your roll-up doors are not very expensive. You can go to commercialrollupdoor.com. They pretty much a nationwide distributor. They got great prices. You can customize, get the door painted, insulated, all of that good stuff. You're looking anywhere from around, I think it's about $350 to about $650 if it's $700 if it's insulated in certain paint, or if you want a decorative awning on it or whatever, you know what I mean? But let's go over here and check this other unit out. I just wanted to give you a few updates on this one, show you how we put this together, and we're gonna go down to the next one. So we did a few things with this one. We actually, I put the hole in here for the vent on this one, so I wanted to show you that this side actually won't open, even though I can open it, but this one side I'll never open. This side right here, I will always have optional where I can open it in and out. So I'm gonna give you a quick look on it real quick. Well, hold up, got the wrong key. Looks like I didn't bring the key. Thought I didn't bring the key for it, man. I was like, man, that's not bring the key. I would say get you some good locks. These are master locks, but these are the ones that got like tempered metal, so more heavy duty. I wouldn't go with nothing cheap, man. It got your stuff in it. You know what I mean? So I wanted to show you what I got going so far. Come over here. I just got it insulated right now, so I'm still working on my layout. I got a few different things to do. This is actually a sign that I'm about to install, so I just got it sitting in here. But I got my wood, my flooring, some of my wood planks here that's going to be helping with the reclaimed wood wall. So right now I'm getting insulated. It actually feels pretty good in here. Worked out pretty good. I'm using two-inch insulation. I actually got a deal on this. It's probably about $30-something, $38 a sheet, but I got it for $18 a sheet, so it worked out good. When you're doing your inside, I needed about 18, 19 sheets to complete your inside. So if you're doing 4x8 sheets, if you're insulating it, if you're using plywood or sheetrock, you're gonna need about 18 or 19 sheets to fill it up. Depends on your cutouts and what you got if you're trying to insulate it. But we're focusing on the cosmetics, engineering structure part of it, because that's the main thing. Because the units that I'm trying to teach you how to sell, you ain't got to worry about insulating it. This is just something personally, but if you're going to do it, I can give you a few pointers on how to do it. So if you're using plywood insulation, you can use the spray foam. This is actually just a cheaper version and you're still gonna kill two birds with one stone if it's like an office. Now, if it's livable, if you're gonna be living in it, I would most definitely say use spray foam. They also have a thing called InsoFast, so you can use that as well. So you can go with this and still use some spray foam, but I like the spray foam. It's just expensive. So you're gonna use about between the size of the unit you're looking at between probably no less than $1,500. Depends on where you at. Now it might be cheaper, but around here between $1,500 to $3,000 depends on the size. So it might be a 20-footer or a 40-footer. So it all depends. So just want to give you some updates on that real quick. Now, I want you to check this one out just from this outside. You can just stand here and check this out. This is actually the other end. This is the 20-footer that I cut this out of. So with this end, she just got the cap going towards the building because she actually wanted to roll up door on the inside, and then we changed a few modifications, but she using hers for storage only. So just putting the door at the rear like I did on this one, I put the door where it's sitting at for a specific purpose. It had a hole in it. So sometimes you get a unit that might have a ding or a hole, and you got to kind of utilize it. That's where you're going to put your door at. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got no choice. So that door actually went on the rear because it had a hole there. She really didn't want nothing on the side, so that was fine. At first, she was gonna go with a window up there, and then she changed her mind. She wanted to keep it good and secure. No reason for nobody to try to break in it or do anything. So she's like, if I put a lot of windows and it's a dark area, they might try to break in my unit. So she just wanted a good, secure door. And if you come up here, let's walk up here a little bit. We're trying to get too close. We won't listen to my guy listen to a little music, so we won't interfere with him. But up here, that's that drip rail. You can see it kind of sticking out. Like I say, this one right here had a hole in it, so we had to patch up a deal, which it was missing there. We patched that up. We put the drip rail in there, slide it in, weld up the sides, and it's good and solid, like good to go, like good to go. And if you see from the side over here, we just put it right up against the building. We set it on some concrete blocks, and a good solid fit. And I also did her forklift hose. And just by the sake of, I didn't say this earlier. Your forklift hose on standard shipping containers, they're going to be 60 some inches, 68, 60 some inches wide. Make yours 48 inches wide, no more than 48, because that way you can use a standard forklift, a standard Skytrack, and you don't need no real big unit to pick up your small unit. So make sure you make your hose standard. That way you can use it with a regular forklift that you can rent from a normal place, and you can get it around. So that'll be a plus. So I just wanted to show you, these are the two units. I want to show you again. And like I say, with this course, I'm just giving you some hands-on because a few people asked me how to make money, how to actually do this, how to flip them. And this is the best way I can show you, is showing you by example. I'm just finishing up these, and the best way for me to show you is hands-on. And I took a 40-foot shipping container that I actually purchased. We got it for $2,500, 40-footer for $2,500, cut it in half, sold one half, made my store with the other half, and it was a win for me. So it all depends on what you're trying to do with your financial freedom. If you're trying to just cut them in half, make 2 units, and once you make the 2 units and you sell them, then you can go back and buy 2 more units and make 4 units. The money gonna start rolling in, but you got to start from somewhere. So I wanted to show you that this is possible. It's not hard to do. All you need is a big grinder or a regular hand grinder, a 140 machine. I actually did all of this with a 140 machine. You can do it with a 140 or 180, depends on how you welding and what type of power source you have. Flux cord all the way out. I didn't use stick on anything. Oh, I actually, those lifting knives around the end, I did weld those with a 7018. So I did stick weld them because I had a thicker plate on there, and my flux core, I would have had to get a bigger unit to actually burn it in good. So I just burnt it with my stick welding unit. So it's very simple. It's not a lot. So if you're a tradesman, an iron worker, a welder, a millwright, this is something that you could actually do. It's not real hard. It doesn't take a lot. It is some work involved, so you're gonna have to get your hands dirty. But the finished result can be great. You don't have to go all out. The paint I use, actually got it from Home Depot. Skills primer, which is a exterior paint, and then you want to get the paint for your metal, which is going to be a oil-based paint, and they can mix it up in different colors for you. Actually took me 3 gallons of paint and 3 gallons of primer to do both units, and I still have a little left over, you know. And I'm an amateur, so I'm not a painter, but I can paint, you know what I'm saying? So I did everything myself because I wanted to be hands-on with this project, just like you're probably going to do when you're getting started. You're going to have to do things yourself, and that's fine. So just wanted to show you again, just give you some updates on how everything turns out. Like I say, this is our container conversion, and you can do this too. Like literally, you can do this. We still have a few steps with mine, which I'm gonna be giving y'all updates here in the future. Hopefully within a month I can be done, and we can have it up, selling merchandise, making money out of it, having people come down and actually visit it, and you know, being a part of it, and actually being able to help other people do theirs. So my goal is to help you be independent, to help you actually start building yours and leading by example. And I wanted to do it in the most rawest form as I could possible. As you see, we out here in the middle of a climate right now. I just wanted to do a real course, a real video to show you how I'm doing this, how it's done, what you can do. Because if I can do it, you can do it. For those who don't know, I spent 10 years incarcerated from the age of 16 to 26. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas, and I was raised in Southeast Arkansas. And my goal is to increase my life and get better. My mom planted that seed when I was in prison on why I should be a welder, on the benefits of welding, and she was giving me information from the Tulsa Welding School. I'd never been there, but those was the seeds that she planted to motivate me. 20 years later, I'm doing this, and I'm building my own independence. So I'm just saying, anything is possible. We have to start somewhere, but the information I was blessed with, I want to share it with you. I know it takes money to make money, so even when you're getting into this, you're going to have to spend money to actually get it off the ground, but it's worth it. So with this course, me only charging you $200 for this. It's just for my time, setting everything up, going over some things. I'm going to be also sending you an email, and I'm going to be giving you some a phone call to help assist you if you have any personal questions and just need to know some specifics. So that way you can actually get things going, man. I really want to see you win. And I think for our culture, everybody try to overshoot something, or they try to get something for nothing. I just want you to know that it's going to take money to make money, so you have to break that curse. You're going to have to spend a little bit. So I'm only charging you $200 for this. I could actually charge you at least $500 for the information that I'm giving you, but I want to see you win. For those who are in my membership already, this is part of my membership. So you get this for free. So this is all the information that I'm giving here goes to those who are a part of the membership. My membership is $500. I have a consultation to help you set up your business for $150. And then I'm doing this course right here for $200. You can follow me on all my social media sites. Facebook is Hog On Welding. Instagram is Hog On Welding. LinkedIn, Hog On Welding. Twitter, Hog On Welding. Everything is Hog On Welding. So it'll be easy to find me. If you like any of my gear, I got some nice gear now. So if you like the gear, check it out. I got some on Amazon Prime. All you have to do is put Hog On Welding in. Hoodies, sweaters, t-shirts, whatever you like, we got it all. So shop with us, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate your time. Right now I got my wife on the ones and twos, so she's doing the recording. I just appreciate her for helping us out. We all took some time out, so that way we can give you some good information, and hopefully you can use this to better yourself in your future. So if you get into it, one day, you never know, we might can come together and we might do a container conversion. But I hope this information is very useful for you. I hope you can use it. And like I say, once you get this, give me that follow-up call. Let's talk about this. I'm gonna have this video set private, so whoever gets this, you know that they paid for it and we're part of the community. And so if they have questions or if they did something, they can leave their comments inside the bottom, and we can kind of share information and go from there. So let's build this community. Let's start our container conversions. I'll see you once you get yours done. Hog on.